the threats from the Chinese Communist Party continue to grow. From the market manipulation that is hurting American industry, to the fentanyl crisis ravaging our communities, and the persistent military threats against our partners and allies, the CCP has shown why Democrats and Republicans must continue to come together to oppose its malign activities. As chairman of the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, here are 5 key areas where I believe the United States must focus our efforts to resist Beijing. Subscribe my channel for update news. 1. Safeguarding Taiwan and America's allies. In February, I traveled to Taiwan with Select Committee Ranking Member Raja Krishnamurthy, DL, and other members of the committee. The meetings and on-the-ground experience there reinforced the urgent need to ramp up our defense industrial base to meet the challenges posed by the CCP's growing military ambitions. The trip also made clear that we cannot assume economic measures alone will deter the Chinese military from invading Taiwan. We need to expand training programs for Taiwan's military and eliminate bottlenecks that have left Taiwan waiting years to receive the weapons it needs to defend itself. 2. Stopping the CCP from flooding our communities with fentanyl. China produces 97% of the world's supply of fentanyl precursors, and as a bipartisan report from the Select Committee found earlier this month, the CCP shockingly subsidizes fentanyl exports and even warns traffickers about upcoming crackdowns by U.S. law enforcement. As a result, the CCP is not only complicit in the fentanyl crisis, but is the active source in this epidemic which kills nearly 100,000 Americans annually. We need to apply maximum pressure against the Chinese companies that produce fentanyl precursors and the Chinese officials that enable them. 3. Preventing the CCP from dominating key parts of the global economy. The CCP's ambitions pose a threat to the world economy. In particular, the CCP has sought to dominate key supply chains in order to bend other countries to its will. Unfortunately, many of our nation's critical supply chains are dependent on China, including electric vehicles and rare earth minerals. China already produces nearly 60% of the world's lithium batteries, and rather than rebuilding our own domestic capacity, state and federal policies are incentivizing Chinese firms to use our own tax dollars for their U.S. ambitions. One of those Chinese companies is CATL, a firm that receives massive subsidies from the CCP, and which has party cells operating throughout the company. Now, as China floods markets around the world with cheap EVs, U.S. automakers are feeling the pressure to keep up and they are looking at partnerships with CATL. We cannot trade American economic leadership for technology and supply chains controlled by Beijing. 4. Countering the CCP's malign influence here at home. The CCP has set its sights on communities across America, including in my home state of Michigan. One example of this is Gotion, a subsidiary of China-based Gotion High-Tech which pledges allegiance to the CCP. Gotion is trying to build a battery component factory in my district, and numerous concerns have been raised over the past year and a half. There was even bipartisan agreement in January, when Leon Panetta and Mike Pompeo, former CIA directors for Presidents Obama and Trump, respectively, both testified about the dangers of allowing CCP-affiliated companies to build production lines in our country. These facilities grow U.S. dependence on Chinese technology, and could be used for other nefarious activities. Not only is the CCP using its economic leverage against us, but it is also intimidating, harassing, and influencing people on U.S. soil. The CCP has operated illegal police stations across the country to punish anyone who speaks out against it. 5. Resisting the CCP's propaganda. The CCP seeks to influence our politicians, business leaders, and now our youth. Through TikTok and its algorithm, the CCP is able to manipulate what millions of young Americans see and do not see. In the past year, TikTok has promoted pro-Hamas content, convinced many Americans Osama bin Laden was admirable, and even forced children to call members of Congress when the House took action to protect Americans from the threat of TikTok. Our nation's founding principles are the heart of our national strength and we need to leverage them to make a clear contrast between the U.S. and the CCP. Under my leadership, the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party will continue to work in a bipartisan manner to hold the CCP accountable for its military, economic, and ideological aggression against America and our allies. This is a competition we must win.
Thanks for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for more information news, and also share my video with your friends. Thank you.